Good evening and welcome to the second episode of Encroachment for Kickball 365 Incorporated here in 2015. And of course, we're going to start off right into it. With me, as always, from sunny Hollywood, California, is the Patty, the man, the myth, the legend. Say hello to the people, Patty.
Hello to the people. It's actually not sunny Hollywood, it's Valley Village. That's right, I live in the Valley. So all the movies you see where they make fun of the vacuous, irritating, beautiful people, I'm 2 out of 3 of that.
But which two's the question?
And that's for you to figure out.
Second episode of and a newbie to the podcast, well, not newbie to the podcast, new for this year at Encroachment, VP of Operations for the circuit, Tim, Tank Top Tim, say hello to the people.
Hey, how's it going? Happy Sunday to you guys.
Getting right into it, we've got the Pro Bowl, you've got Royal Rumble, and now you've got Encroachment here on this wonderful Sunday evening. We're going to jump right into it. Tim is with us because of Vegas, baby, Vegas. Tim, let's talk about it.
Sure. So it seems like a hot topic this week has been talking about the Vegas tournament and why it's there, why there's no Arizona, why we switched at the last minute from a draft idea to back to regular co-ed. So I just wanted to touch on some of those issues. The first one is this year just seems to be the perfect storm of park availability kind of coming to bite us. Specifically, we always try to target our cities, but we always have a backup in plan. Obviously, Arizona last year in March was a success. We wanted to do it again, but we ran into some issues with park permits as far as availability. Some parks booked 12 months out. The park that we were at previously was only going to allocate us about half of what we used last year, and it wasn't the good half, it was the bad half. They weren't available on Sunday for a women's event. When we started looking at other parks, there was a couple that were doing some renovations that already had youth booked up as well. One park in Scottsdale came back to us. They said, yeah, we have a field here and a field here, but we're not in the business of, we don't have the operations to run literally a split location on the same day, so we couldn't do that. Another park, we have availability, but it doesn't start till 2 p.m.
Wait, Tim, let me interrupt you here. Basically what I feel like I'm hearing is we wanted to go back to Arizona, but Arizona is all high and mighty this year because they get to host the Super Bowl, so they decided to shit on us, the little guys at kickball, and it made things real difficult for us to get space in Arizona. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that, and they decided, you know, this was the year that they wanted to mow all the grass and make sure that we couldn't use their fields.
Well, I guess they do only have to mow the grass once about every 4 years because they sure as hell don't have any water in Arizona. Wait, why am I mocking Arizona for no water? I live in California. It hasn't rained for like 6 years here, so I apologize for that dig, Arizona. That was uncalled for. That's my bad. So, no Arizona because of parks issues. And now we move on to Vegas, which not too far away, still technically a West Coast tournament. I suppose the question that everybody's wondering is, where are we playing in Arizona? Where are we playing in Vegas? Everybody is very familiar with the Desert Breeze Park, thanks to the Founders Cup. Are we playing there, or are we playing somewhere else? Where are we going in Vegas?
We're playing somewhere else. So once I exhausted all those options, I went to the county and tried to get a specific park. It's called Charlie Frias Park. It opened about 2 years ago. A lot of people may remember, I believe it was fall of 2012, or it may have been fall of 2013. That year, Founders Cup was trying to go to Charlie Frias, and then at the last minute, they backed out and went back to Desert Breeze. It doesn't hold as quite as big of a capacity as Desert Breeze, but the fields are much nicer. I'll definitely share a picture sometime this week on the Facebook event with everybody, just so they can see it. It's beautiful, pristine, it's flat. You know, it is a little dry. It's not going to be your perfect, you know, grass that's, you know, got dew on it in the morning, but it's a quality set of fields. So that's where we'll be going.
Now, do the fields have roulette, or is it just fields?
Actually, there is a full casino right across the street. So, and if you really want to get your slot machine fixed, there's a gas station across the street.
You just completely irritated every captain in 365, because now every captain of a team that's going to Vegas just realized they're going to have to fucking try and wrangle their players to not go to the casino for lunch. So that's awesome. Everybody's going to be pissed. I guarantee, or my prediction is, There will be no elims for the tournament coming up because everybody's going to be across the street throwing money down on slots. So, okay, well, great. So that's where we're playing. And this is a question for both of you. I guess maybe less for you, Tim, and more for you, Stephen, to put you on the spot as the CEO. Vegas was initially a draft tournament. Now it's not. Why is Vegas now officially a sanctioned 365 circuit tour event?
Great question, Patty. Thank you for asking. Essentially, we went in and we listened to our customers, man. There's a lot of feedback, of course, being out here on the West Coast. You know, I'm the first line of, what's the word I'm looking for?
You're being too politically correct, man. Just say people were bitching, so you said, fuck it, we'll make it a real circuit event.
That's the short answer, to be quite honest with you. We realized that if we're going to take away Arizona, we needed to replace that with another co-ed event. And Vegas, although I will say this, Vegas is a draft idea. It's something that we're not completely throwing away. I think Vegas as a draft idea is a phenomenal idea, but we also have to give ourselves time to plan that out. Given that we were behind the cue ball a little bit on securing the parks, we wanted to be sure that we give people ample time in considering a draft tournament, and it just wasn't there. You know, being able to go ahead and finally announce, you know, 6 weeks out or even 8 weeks out, that's not enough time for people to say, I'm going to fly from everywhere all over the country to come for this draft event. So both of those played a large role in it. Hearing from our West Coast customers about there not being a co-ed event until, you know, late May with San Francisco, and also just having the time to execute the draft idea. Tim has a lot of phenomenal creative ideas when it comes to the draft tournament, and we just weren't going to be able to implement them all in time for Vegas. So we kind of just, you know, it works out for the best. We give the West Coast a co-ed tournament, which in Vegas, and we also, whenever it comes time to throw the draft tournament, we give ourselves ample time to be sure that we can execute it well. So, boom.
That's good. That's good. Because yeah, I do also like the idea of a draft tournament, but not at the sacrifice of a West Coast official co-ed circuit tournament. I mean, you know, we lost 2 and gained 1. We lost Arizona, we lost Los Angeles, and then we added San Francisco, and now we've added Vegas. So it seems like we're back to even on the West Coast. I guarantee people are still going to be bitching a little bit about no Los Angeles tournament, but at least we've got another co-ed tournament back on the West Coast that is easier to access from LA. And you know what? No, I'm going to say LA. I mean, it's the biggest cluster of kickball on the West Coast, possibly in the country. So yeah, I mean, you know, we like having tournaments nearby.
Exactly that. It was about finding balance, and you know, while the Best of the West tournament this year will be a sanctioned event, it will not be a full circuit co-ed event. And so bringing Vegas in as a co-ed does exactly that. It balances things out. That's exactly correct.
Excellent, excellent. So that's where we stand on tours, and obviously we'll talk more about Vegas as we get closer to it. But we still have, I mean, Vegas is not going to be the inaugural tournament of the year. We still have South Florida knockout in, well, February, next month. So, you know, more to come on that as we get closer to it, discussing the teams, the social events, everything that's going on in South Florida. So there we go. That's. Is there anything else as far as the tour schedule that's worth talking about right now, or does that kind of get us up to date with the information we have now?
Tim?
Yeah, that's fairly close. If the couple of dates, if registration isn't open or there's not a Facebook event yet, permit is not like 100% finalized, but we're working on, we have target dates for every event, and we're working to secure basically what it comes down to the second half of the year, basically June and beyond.
Okay.
Most of those are either in the works or going to be finalized here shortly. So that's what we're focusing all of our efforts on right now, now that we have the first half kind of squared away.
Perfect.
But yeah, there's no other surprises that I can think of at this time.
Okay.
Hopefully everything stays the same.
And of course, what is a tournament without officials? Stephen, you got something to talk to us about the official referee umpire? Which, real quick, okay, let's have a quick interjection here in regards to the officials. Do we call them referees or do we call them umpires? I will say that once upon a time I was a purist and I got very, very cranky when they called them referees because, you know, we're based off of baseball and, you know, for baseball, softball, these types of things, they're referred to as umpires. So I would get really, really pissy at anybody who called them referees. I would like to apologize. I was being a douche, okay? Don't be a douche anymore. We know what they are. Referees, umpires, officials, guys in blue that we yell at and shake our fists at. We know what they are. Stop getting pissy about the semantics on that. Okay, there's my rant on that. Steven, tell us about the official umpire thing that you got for us.
So many of you received an email. If not, it's already up on the page, and we also posted a blog post about it as well. The National Referee Program. Essentially, the goal of this is to be able to provide high-quality, consistent refs, referees, or umpires, whatever you choose to call them, depending on what coach you're on, for our circuit events. Now, the benefits of the National Referee Program, if you choose to join it, it's basically 2 levels. It's either a basic, you're either a basic referee or you're a pro-level referee. The pro-level referees get additional pay per game. That's an additional $10 per game, so essentially you're making $25 per game, unless the event manager raises your base from 15. But it's whatever your base is plus $10. The normal base is 15. And we also provide shared hotel accommodations for you if you are traveling. So the purpose of this and what you have to do to become a pro-level referee is you have to take the quiz. I don't know if many of you are familiar. We require our referees to take a referee quiz online, as well as you are vetted by our VP of Rules, JPW, along with some other people from the staff. And we prefer that you have a couple of recommendations from either a team, a circuit team, or a league, or an EM to say that, you know what, I vouch for this guy. He is a solid person, or female. You can also be a female as part of a pro-level referee. So that's pretty much it, man. Pretty straightforward. That's the goal, is to get the best referees possible, and we're hoping that giving them some more money per game, along with providing at least, you know, some sort of shared accommodations for their travel, will hopefully entice some people to go ahead and become full-time referees for the circuit. So that's.
I would like to pose the question. You made mention of the quiz, obviously, to make sure that said official knows the rules well enough to be able to officiate a game. But as part of the vetting process, the interview process, as it were, please tell me there's some sort of stress test that these referees have to go through, because we know that one of the biggest problems, one of the biggest difficulties for the refs is you know, dealing with all of us jackass players and their jackass captains with the yelling and the screaming and the shaking of the fist and the gnashing of the teeth. So please tell me that, you know, there's some sort of vetting process there. And I mean, the real question that I think the officials who are looking into this program want to know is, will they be issued official Kickball 365 tasers?
Due to liability reasons, there will be no tasers given out to officials because they would be used entirely too frequently. But
is that a bad thing? Is that bad? I mean, honestly, we can use a little bit of tasing out there. A little electroshock therapy might calm some of us asshole kickballers down a little bit, I think.
Is it bad from an entertainment standpoint? Absolutely not. It would be amazing to watch some of these people who are absolutely arguing every ball, foul, strike, call on the field. I'd love to see some people get tased every now and then. But as a company, I mean, you gotta be serious about that. There's no possible way that would last more than the first round of pool play games.
Bullshit. As a company, you should be embracing this idea, because I guarantee sponsors would be knocking down your goddamn door if we were doing this. Oh, people are playing kickball and getting tased for being douches? Seriously, people would be throwing money at us. We can do that.
There's a video on YouTube of people playing soccer with tasers. It's called Ultimate Taser Ball.
It's soccer. Soccer. What's? Oh, soccer. That's that sport. Un-American football is what. Yeah, that's what I refer to soccer as. Un-American football. Seriously, you're talking about soccer the weekend, but right before the Super Bowl? Timmy, come on, man. Stop being so international. Be American, goddammit.
That's why I called it soccer. If I wasn't American, I'd call it football.
It's un-American football.
But yes, part of the requirements to be a pro-level ref is to have a circuit event before. So coming in with that and having a little bit of history, hopefully people understand that, you know what, I know what I'm getting myself into with these competitive guys, and they'll be up to the challenge. So,
will the officials will they be issued PSI meters to make sure that nobody deflates the balls?
Really?
Really? Seriously, why is that a thing? Who gives a shit? Everybody knows that it's like the two most hated coaches in football are about to play the Super Bowl. Everybody hates the Patriots because history or whatever, and people get irritated with the Seahawks because the Seahawks fans are fucking annoying. So, seriously, why does anybody care about this? Just watch the game, watch the commercials, you know, eat your ribs, drink your drinks, everybody take a poop during halftime, plug up the sewers, and boom, Super Bowl, okay? Who gives a shit about how inflated the balls are?
Agreed, 100%. I could give two shits about Tom Brady. I feel like we've heard this story before. The Patriots are cheating again. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, but are they? Does anybody really know? Were you there? Did you measure the balls, Stephen? So how do you know? I didn't measure the balls. I don't know if they did anything. I mean, look, I'm a Seahawks fan just due to geography because I grew up in a state that was like, you know, close to Seattle. Granted, the state was like 6 states away. I don't give a shit about the Patriots or the Seahawks. I mean, I guess I'm kind of rooting for the Seahawks, but who cares? Let them play football. Because now, okay, so we've said this now. Everybody who's watching this podcast, this has been said. We have talked about Deflategate. We have talked about it in context of kickball, and now nobody has to talk about Deflategate in context of kickball anymore, okay? It's done. It's fucking over. Nobody say Deflategate if the ball's a little flat at a tournament, and for Christ's sake, stop yelling balk when the pitcher is interrupted during kickball. My two biggest pet peeves of 2015 are people yelling balk when the pitcher has to stop and anybody bringing up Deflategate. Okay? That's it. Those are my two biggest pet peeves. I do not have my Fireball pet peeve anymore because I would like to announce the new official whiskey of Kickball 365 The Circuit, Paddy Blended Irish Whiskey. Drink this, and you'll be very happy, and you won't get irritated about things like Deflategate or what was the other thing I was talking about? Shit, this stuff's actually pretty good.
And by official whiskey, he means not partnered with Kickball 365.
Oh, no, they're not giving us any money. But, you know,
the product sponsorship.
Okay, we've got to move on, guys. We've got to move on. Okay. Next, we want to bring up this. It's actually been really fantastic over the last couple of days. If you've been to Facebook, if you are friends with Kickball 365, or anyone who plays the circuit, you probably have seen what many are referring to as the People's Forum. I love the idea. The guys on the East Coast went ahead and saw the space for some sort of messaging between circuit players going into the year, seeing as how the message boards were down and we were, you know, still contemplating what to do. And they took the initiative and they ran with it in this group, the Circuit, what do they call it? Circuit Kickball Talk. That group is on there now, and it's already kind of taking off. I know Tim and Patty, both of you guys have a little bit to say on this, so I'll toss it to you. Tim.
Oh, no, it's funny that this was launched right after we had an internal discussion about launching one of these. 'Cause, to be honest, the forum gets a lot of use, but it's coming from a very small subset of our player base, whereas something like Facebook, a large majority of our player database is already on there. So it makes perfect sense. I think it gives a good window to a lot of players to either meet other players, get some feedback, but also have direct access to folks like myself. If they want to complain, they want to give us praise for anything, whatever, tag me in anything. I'll answer any question you want, honestly. So I think it's a great medium, another way to add, you know, an outlet for our players to have access to us. So.
And I've already gotten called out for apparently folding the ball in half whenever I pitch. I can't help that I have massively large hands. It feels like a softball in my hand. It's not my fault. Live with it.
I like the fact that that yes, the people's forums have come around in a very, it feels very bootstrappy, very grassroots as you can be. You know, utilizing something as large and ubiquitous as the multi-billion-dollar company Facebook to you know, spread your conversation. I do have a couple of not necessarily gripes, but concerns about having it on Facebook. Number one, the conversation will not be searchable. That was one of the benefits of the old forum, is that you could look through the history reinsert stuff, and you know, you can go back and check some of the archived conversations. And keep up, you know, catch up, that sort of thing. Obviously, in the Facebook forum, it's just going to end up just becoming this one longer and longer and longer and longer sheet. So finding anything is going to be next to impossible. But what the hell? We've all got attention spans of goldfish anyway, so it's not like we're going to have to look at anything from behind. The bigger concern I have, and the bigger question, I'll be really curious to see how this works out when Facebook's algorithms start paying attention to the conversation that's happening on the forum. I am very much looking forward to the day that I get the message, hey, Patty, apparently, according to your conversations, you like dicks in your mouth. So if you want to find a local place to go out and buy dicks in your mouth, here's an ad to go buy dicks in your mouth. There's a little side banner on the side of my fucking Facebook page. Or worse yet, it's going to come up in my newsfeed, and my dear sweet mother is going to be looking through Facebook. Oh, I wonder what Patty's up to now. Oh, my God, he likes dicks in his mouth. Well, I guess I now know what to get him for Christmas. For fuck's sake, this is going to be awful because we are so nasty to each other in these kinds of forums. The algorithms that are going to come up and the ads that are going to come up are going to be just atrocious. Now, that being said, if anybody knows where here in the Los Angeles area I can go out and buy some dicks in my mouth, let me know, because I'm out of dicks in my mouth and I need some more.
You can always come to Las Vegas for that.
Oh, that's true. Maybe I will come to the tournament then.
You've got an entire free Saturday night to go find it. So
this is true. This is true. So, all right, Saturday night, I'm gonna go find some dicks in my mouth in Vegas.
I can't even anymore. When did it take this turn, Tim? You see what I deal with on a week-to-week basis?
Hey, it's only episode 2. I'm okay with it.
Hey, I was told to cross the line. If putting dicks in my mouth isn't crossing the line, then I don't know what is.
Wow. Over and over again, Patty. Wow. So long story short, if you have an ad that says you want some dicks in your mouth, it probably came from Circuit Kickball Talk. And it's probably Patty's fault.
Probably.
All right, I'm done. We're finishing this week with that right there. We've officially crossed the line, and in encroachment, when you cross the line, that's where we end. So
Excellent.
Thank you, Patty, for being on this week.
Oh, wait.
As always. Oh, one more?
No, it just occurred to me, because this, I keep thinking Waka with the whole idea of, like, you know, encroachment, crossing the line. So it's not that I get a free base. I just cross the line, I get 2 free balls. Good night, everybody!
Bye.